General Siwach, are we politicizing forces? Can we pick forces for internal security duties? Why is this thing Assam Rifle come? I really want your perspective on this. What is this issue
Uh,
about?
See, as far as India is concerned, we have one force against one border, and that is how the BSF is with India-Pakistan border, as well as India-Bangladesh border. And your ITBP is against China, and the SSB is there, Bhutan and Sikkim. And as far as Assam Rifle is there, it is looking after basically the Myanmar border. So the point is, as of today, they are one of the central armored force which is there and operating. Now, this acquisition which has been put on Assam Rifle, to me, it doesn't seem to be correct. But if he's putting an acquisition, one need to go into detail because they are doing their duty. And the best thing is they are commanded by the army officer. They are not commanded by a cadre from Assam Rifle. So therefore, the point is the decision has already taken almost about 20 years back. They will be also reshuffling. They will not stay at permanent location which used to be there in Assam Rifle, and they keep on moving. But as this observation has come, and in case if it is held, the unified commander, if he's made, will be the right person to decide. Is it a fact? Because I
जनरल साहब मैं
certainly
जनरल साहब
understand unified command, more army forces
जनरल साहब
bring
अगर
law
एक
and order
आम
under
आदमी
peace.
की भाषा
And
में पूछूं, जनरल साहब एक आम आदमी की भाषा में पूछूं तो ये मुद्दा क्या है? क्योंकि मैं इसलिए आपसे पूछा हूं कि पिछले 20-25 दिन से मैं भी बहुत इस चीज़ को लेके आप कहें परेशान था, या हिंदी में से कहते हैं हतप्रभ था, या और इंग्लिश स्लाइटली स्टूपिफाइड कि ये वाई इज दिस इशू कमिंग अप अगेन अगेन इन कॉन्वर्सेशन. आप बताइए. आपने आपने जीवन बिताया फौज में, आप बताइए मुद्दा क्या है असम राइफल का? बिकॉज आर वी पॉलिटिसाइजिंग आवर फोर्सेस और इज देयर एन इशू आउट देयर?
don't seem to be. See, the point today is Assam Rifle is supposed to be a blueprint of Indian Army. It is commanded by an army officer. They are very professional. They are also looking after Myanmar border. But the point which is there is something wrong somewhere, and that is why the situation is not being controlled in Myanmar, in Manipur. Now the issue which was coming is we have made number of mistakes. Point is seen, but bygones are bygones. How do we make a roadmap hereafter? And I of the opinion that the unified command must take over at the earliest under a army commander that should be headed by an army general who will take control of all the forces. And should he feel that there is a requirement of reshuffling the forces, it must be done. My point is, you can't experiment now. The things are going from bad to worse. People are dying. They have lost confidence and faith. How do we bring this confidence and faith must be seen. If there is a solution, we must take it. But unified command, why there is a delay? That's what is troubling me. And unified command can't be under police. It has to be under army. Because the point, I fully agree, majority of the people will say they have more confidence in army, which will operate in an impartial manner. And Assam Rifle will be under army, and then they will. This point should be done at the list. The another point is SU, the suspension of operation. Their weapon may be there, but are the cadre there? Or the cadres are now mixed with others and they are operating in the valley floor or in the hills? The weapon is not a problem as of today in Manipur, because so much weapons have come now from Myanmar also, that until unless you do not take out these weapons, the society will remain divided and society is criminalized. No doubt about it. So therefore, two-pronged strategy. One is that what is happening as of today is women are being used as a shield, and this movement is taken by the insurgents on the both sides. Now, what should be our roadmap? Our roadmap is immediately you should have a unified command, start the combing operation, take these weapons back, and bring law and order under control. Anyone who is taking law in his own hand must be dealt fairly. Everyone must be treated equally in the same impartial manner. I suppose that must be the one. The moment people realize it, that the force which is operating is impartial, I think then you will find things falling into place. At the same time, the civil administration must also ensure that the logistics are not being disrupted. As on today, the main highway which is going from Kohima to Imphal has been also blocked. How will the essential come? That point has to have to think. So the cookies have to be also understand if you block like this roads, then you will find it the essentials are not coming. It will be creating a situation which is deteriorating. So I suppose a multi-pronged strategy, declare this area under Armed Forces Special Power Act, have a unified command, let the army commander take on the situation, all forces must operate under that, and combing operation to be done. These weapons which are there must be brought back. Law and order must be brought to immediately under control in another about 10 to 15 days, and thereafter the other things will fall in place. Because as on today, that initial which is started that it was Cookie versus Methi, I think it is gone. It is way behind now. Now it is insurgents of Cookies and insurgent of Mathis, and the woman coming in the forefront, backed by the insurgent. And this is where the
Okay.
situation has become quite complex.
Okay.
Kartikeya.
Madam Gangte, your opening comments on this, on the visuals.
Well, instead of blaming the army or the Assam Rifles, they should be allowed to move freely in any area so that the law should be held by the army or by the government. The law is in the hands of the civilians. The law is taken by the women and by the people. This is something which I think the army also finds very difficult to deal with. As we have seen here on the screen, the footage, it is also important that these women belong to which community. The army must show, even the Cookies or the Métis. I see here only our Métis women. I did not see the Cookie women blocking the road. But if they block, the Cookies or the Métis both should be crushed, because we want peace. We talk about peace and how to bring about peace when the women are used as really human shields. And why did the women block the roads? If the army is there to bring back peace, they should be supported by the women or by the people. Why should we block the army from executing their duty? This is my point.
This is your point. But then, Madam Gangte, the corollary to this is, how do you disarm the camps now? Because Northeast has seen a different sort of a politics. So you have armed militants with their camps. One example in NSIM. Now there is no violence in Nagaland, but you have camps there. And you have militants there, and you have weapons there.
Well, as the army officer had just mentioned that, yes, designated camps are there. Not only the central government, the state government knows it very well. As I spoke last time, I would also say this. I think the CM knows very well, because these two groups have been used for their election strategy. They use them as volunteers. BJP used these two groups to get them elected. So all the Kuki MLAs have been elected on BJP ticket. This is a very clear proof that the BJP had used, and the CM knows very well, he used them as his volunteers, and now he is accusing them of being terrorists. I can't understand this. And also in the valley, it is not only the Kuki Sioux groups who should be accused all the time. What about in the valley? Just recently, so many thousands and thousands of weapons had been exchanged, with other cars. This is what we heard. And thousands of ammunition Has the government recovered all these weapons and ammunition? And why are the women allowed to blockade the army? The
So
women should not. If the
Madam Gangte, but why are the women coming out? The question is, why are the women coming out? Let's keep the army aside, for example. You are a woman. Is this something very specific to Manipur? Is it something which the North India does not understand? What explains such powerful forefront participation? Let me put it this way. Then I'll come to you. Dabakushirji, I'll come to you. I'll come to you.
Well, I was very close. In fact, today I'm very close with my women in the valley or in the hills. We had really never did this kind of thing. The thing was, when there was Armed Forces Special Powers Act and the army had access, in their activities in trying to hunt down the insurgents, both in the valley and in the hills. So we women, as human rights activists, would come out and would talk to the army and the army officers, and we would put our case before them. But this kind of blockade is really condemnable, and it should not happen. This is something which is blocking the peace process, and I think this is something very wrong to do.
Very wrong to do. Professor Hang Seng, what do you explain such participation? Is it cultural? Why have they come out? Because we can't say that every woman has been hypnotized out there, and they all come out. That's a lazy sociological explanation. It denies the rich cultural tapestry of Manipur. Why are they out? What is happening? Is it all across the communities, or is it specifically happening in a couple of areas? Because if I go through the interview of the Chief Minister, he's saying the violence is only taking place in 3 areas. He has marked them out. Sir, to you.
Okay. See, the participation of women, particularly among the Métis community, in protests like Armed Forces Special Power Act is nothing new. They have been doing it. They are protesting against it, and then in the name of human rights, just like Madam Gangte has just said. But in this situation, it is very different. This is not a protest against human rights violation. This is a protest against a community. So if women folks come out and protest like this, it has nothing to do with the earlier protests. There's nothing similar with the earlier protests that they have been doing in the valley. So therefore, these kind of protests is only a means to allow those who go to the villages, the hill villages, burn down the villages, kill the villagers, only to allow them to go to the hills. So that if army is there, these arsonists or whoever these groups are from the plain, they cannot go to the hills. They cannot go and burn down the villages. So this is only a protest to weaken the army. So what I would like to say further add here is that one of my co-panelists have said that action should have been taken from day one, from the first 24 hours. Why the first 24 hours? Why not the next day? So many days has gone. Why don't we take action? We have seen from these footages that the chief minister or the state government has completely failed in law and order. Even the army is left. I don't think they have the full support of the political administration or the government of Manipur. Otherwise, it should have been different. Now, like General Sabha has said, there should be a unified command. I agree with that. But in order to make that effective, there should be president rule. The center should rule it, and then there should be buffer zones created so that further fightings and killings and burning doesn't happen from both sides. Then only we can start talking. So all of these things has to stop first. Then we can start talking about peace.